let's fast forward to 1986 and to Texas Chain Saw Massacre 2. Did you set out to be bold and just do something very different in tone?
Yes, I did. I like that film a lot because it is comedy, really, but it was certainly the wrong approach. But that was John Hughes times, and I mean that was Breakfast Club, and that was the '80s. But commercially, that film didn't work, and only in the past few years now it's becoming recognized. It was over 10 years later, and I didn't want to make a slasher film. And all it was, I mean, it's one of the bloodiest films, definitely the bloodiest films I've ever made. Like I said, it was one of those things that had to be made so quickly that there wasn't much time to do anything but go kind of on automatic pilot. And I thought, well, okay, so the humor that was missed in the first movie, I'll play up the humor.
Can you talk at all about what your plans for Spider-Man was? I mean, it's very interesting that Sam Raimi, the career he went on to have.
Spider-Man would have really been cool. We really needed CGI to do Spider-Man. I mean, it was it was in the development, in the planning stages, and then it kind of fell apart.
And it was going to be an origin story, wasn't it? It was going to be Peter Parker in high school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the spider bites him.
Yeah. Has anyone got a question?
One question I've got about Texas Chain Saw Massacre. It's been spoken of in interviews that Gunnar Hansen wasn't the original choice for Leatherface. Who was the actor who supposedly locked himself in a motel and wouldn't come out for the first day of shooting?
You know, I don't remember that.
It was an interview a few years back. Gunnar Hansen actually said that Leatherface, the original guy who was going to play Leatherface, had locked himself in a motel room and he was drunk and wouldn't come out for the first day of shooting, and you suggested that Gunnar would be the guy to play Leatherface.
No, did Gunnar say that?
He did, yes.
Gunnar said some things, some interesting things. No, he was always, I mean, Robert Burns, the production designer, I was sitting in Robert's office and he wanted to introduce me to this big guy he knew. And so Gunnar was hired before he actually came into the room because I could see him lumbering across the street to the plate glass window. I do recall somebody, maybe it was the hitchhiker, I don't know, but I don't remember that. Gunnar also says that shot that you see of Sally's finger being cut, and this must be true. It's either that or Marilyn Burns and Gunnar cooked it up, but said that the blood tube on the back of the knife wasn't working. There's a little bubble of squeeze bottle, and a tube runs down the back of the knife, and the blood comes up. And so it didn't work for the first couple of shots. And then Gunnar said, well, he's just going to cut her. and so I found out, I heard this story. Anyway, the guy said, had talked to Gunnar, said, no, that, really did cut her. And then I asked Marilyn Burns, and she said, yeah, he did cut me. And I watched the film, and I can see, I think he did. Because it looks like the blood bubbles up out of her skin. So, but I don't know about this guy that got drunk. That may be true, I don't know.
How do you think that Chainsaw fits in with other films based upon Ed Gein, like Psycho, Silence of the Lambs, etc.?
I didn't totally know that. My introduction to Ed Gein was back in the coffin days that I was talking about, and I had relatives that lived in Wisconsin. They told me about this man that lived 27 miles from them, who had been making, they caught and they put put him in a mental institution, and in his house it had human skin covered furniture and such as that. I didn't know the similarities, actually. I didn't know that he had a mask. I did not know, or actually this chest piece of human skin. I didn't learn the Ed Gein story until a couple of years after Chainsaw was made. Although it inspired, it carried from 3 or 4 years of age, this story of this true boogeyman. I didn't know there were so many similarities. And of course, when I saw Psycho, I didn't realize that either. But it was much later. It was actually after Chainsaw that Ed Gein came up and started, getting his own fame.
With regards to there's been so many prequels, sequels, and a remake, obviously, I just wondered what you actually felt of any of them, and if you felt any of them actually did your film any justice.
Well, the remake of Chainsaw was not in the proper context, or didn't have a context, it didn't seem. It was, but there's things I like. I mean, there's a shot of across Jessica Biel's ass when she's going to the house. And I gotta say, I love it. I love that shot.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Tobe.